So let's talk about this last part. Well, no, actually, it's not the last part, but we kind of bundled all of the Mac stuff together, right? So the Mac Mini, the Mac Studio, and well, you have here the Pro,
Maybe.
but we
I don't
already got
know.
new Pros. You
No,
think
not the
we're gonna
MacBook
get?
Pro, the Mac Pro itself, right?
Oh,
The
the big
tower.
Pro. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
So,
studio kind of threw me off there. I forgot about the Mac Studio, which is for
yeah.
AV pros and stuff like that. So yeah, the Mac Pro. Um, we know that this is coming, right?
I would
Maybe
think
they're not in a huge rush to
I
get
think
these out, but
I think the Mini and the Studio are slam dunks. They're going to get the
yeah,
M3 series of chips. They'll
yeah,
introduce the Ultra, which will be one of the options in the Studio. But my question is, are we really going to get the Mac Pro? Now, the only thing I can say is it's the last one on Intel, right? The Mac Pro, if
hmm
you were to buy it today,
yeah,
you're
an
still
Intel
buying it
chip,
on, right? Yeah, no, they haven't
yeah.
launched the Mac Pro on Apple Silicon. So, will we get a Pro, or is Apple going to concede that and just say, look, if you're that high end of a user, you get the maxed out Studio and
Yes.
call it good, right? So, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one. Um, but the others, I think, are slam dunks. They're going to get the M3 chips.
Right, right. So I'm excited for a new Mac Mini, right? And let me tell you why. Because I finally fall into that category that we're talking about. So I don't need an M3 Mac Mini, right? But what I'm hoping, the Mac Mini is released with the M3, M3 Pro or Ultra or Max or whatever they put in it, and that drives down the price to the current model, right? To the older models, and maybe I can take advantage of that Apple refurbs that was our tech tip a few weeks ago. So I'm excited for a new one, not because I need the latest one. And we mentioned this before. If you don't fall into that category where you want the latest and greatest, you just want a good quality machine for a reasonable price, then yeah, when the new Mac Minis come out, maybe that'll make the current generation a little more affordable. It pushes it down in my price range that I'm willing to spend for one, and I can jump on that. So I'm excited for the upgrade, not to upgrade to the latest one, but to maybe get the current generation. So I don't
Yeah,
think that's a bad thing. M3 and
no,
everything. I think that's a good move,
I
and
think
we
it's
know they're
good.
going to make that move eventually. Yeah.
And real time follow up, Jason, there is a Mac Pro with, I thought they had said they had completed the transition. So the current Mac Pro is on the M2.
Okay.
So, so yeah, it's not, I totally skip that. It's just not the computer. I can't imagine a scenario where I'm in the market for
Right.
this particular computer. It starts at
Right.
$7,000. I
Yeah.
could buy all of the other stuff I talked about for less than a Mac
Yep.
Pro at the very, very base. So yeah, I apologize to the listeners out there. There is a Mac Pro. Um, if you need it, you already know it. You already paid
Yes,
for it, probably on the M2
you
chip,
know
but
you need it.
I'm guessing it'll get the M3 this year, that M3 Ultra, and cause it good. But I'm just curious. I just want to see how expensive this Mac can get. So I'm
Yeah.
going to max
Yeah,
out
let's check it
everything.
out. And
192
again,
gigabytes of memory, 8
wow.
terabytes of storage. The wheels are $400.
Yeah.
I won't install any of that other stuff.
Well, okay. This sounds like it's going to be a doozy. Wow.
$12,199 before you buy a monitor.
Yep. Or Apple Care.
Oh,
Yeah, if you know you need it, you need it,
yeah.
right?
I
If
mean,
you're
this
buying it,
is,
nobody's buying this to look at YouTube videos
yeah,
on, right?
no. And this is for Pixar. They're buying these by the dozen, right?
Yeah,
Along with the high end monitors that cost another 10 grand, so that they can put all the stuffs on them, and they make it
right.
back in 5 movie tickets because it's expensive to go see a movie right now. But
Yeah,
but yeah, so I think it'll get it. I agree. The most interesting one to me is probably the mini.
yeah,
That was on my list. Could I have gotten a mini instead of this MacBook Pro? no, because I need to be so much more portable.
Yeah, you need to be
But
portable. Yeah.
those Mac Minis would be great. I mean, it would solve a couple of the concerns that we have about some of our production stuff, but I still don't think it'll solve everything because we're still working on some of the video stuff. So, but yeah, put M3s and all of those devices and call it good. So apologies that I screwed up and thought that we were still on Intel for the Mac Pro.
Yeah, yeah, no. Thanks for that update. I'm glad you checked that. But 12,000 maxed out, that is a doozy. So
And then we go to the other end of the spectrum, which I think is probably the most interesting one, and the one that I'm a little
hmm
surprised didn't get updated already, right? Which is the MacBook Air, which is their number one,
yeah,
got to be their number one selling Mac. Period. End of
I
story.
would think
Right?
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this last generation was so great. Well, the current
Yeah.
generation is so great.
Yeah.
It's such an awesome machine. So I'm willing to believe too. I'm willing to bet this is not not going to make a big hoopla out of this, right? This is just going to be a store update, right? This is
Yeah.
just going to be you'll see your Twitters, you see your X's and X's, whatever you call it now, your tweets and wherever you get your news from on YouTube, and they're just going to say, hey, the store went down for a minute, it came back up. There's new MacBook M3 MacBook Airs on there, so
Yeah.
no body style change, no form factor changes, no features. Maybe a new color. Maybe it'll get that black that the MacBook Pro has.
It's pretty nice. I got to tell
Yeah,
you,
it's
unless you're looking at it in, I love it because most of the lighting that I see it in, it looks black. So,
yeah, yeah. So I don't see them making a big deal. It's not going to get any stage time, right?
nah.
No, it'll get a commercial and a update on the App Store on the Apple website. You know,
And they could do that with the other Macs too, except for the Ultra chip. They'll want to make a big deal about how much better the new Ultra chip is, right? But
right,
then if you think
right,
about it, you've got the 13 and 15-inch MacBook Airs, you've got the 14-inch MacBook Pro, the
hmm
standard one, then you've got the 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pros with the bigger chips,
right,
right? And then you've got the Mini, the Studio, and the Pro. Everything sits on M3. You just decide what your
right.
use case is and call it good. So I think that's a pretty darn solid Mac lineup for next
Yeah,
year. So
I think so. And because of the Scary Fast event, it's just going to be an update. So look out for that. You know, if you're holding out, like we were telling you guys to do, or if you're, just not in the market for it now, but early next year, just kind of be aware, just kind
yeah,
of follow some tech guys, some tech dads like me and Greg, or some of the usual suspects on Twitter, and as soon as it's updated, we'll let you guys know.
look, if you're in the market for a MacBook Air, you can buy it now and buy the
I think
M2
so. I
or
love this
find a
machine.
refurb M1. I mean,
Right.
honestly,
I wouldn't recommend that one.
if MacBook Air is your jam, right? If you know
Yeah.
that's what you need because you're just going to write papers and watch video and that kind of stuff on it, you can buy
Yeah.
any MacBook Air with Apple Silicon out there, and I
Right.
think you're good. You're going to be good
Yeah.
for
For the next
quite
few
some time.
years. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you
Yeah.
want the bigger
Yeah.
screen, you got
Even
to
with
go
the
with the M2 because it's the 15 only comes with the M2, right? So if
yeah.
you want that bigger screen, you need to go there. But I just don't see how you go wrong with a MacBook Air with Apple
Yeah.
Silicon right now. Yes, get the one with the M2 or wait for the M3 if you can. But
Yeah.
if you're really budget conscious, that M1 MacBook Air, I think it'll be fine.
I think so too. Yeah, if you're budget conscious, right? Because you can get that for a really good price, and it'll still, like we just said, it'll be good for years. It is a really good machine. So I would, in certain cases, I would recommend getting that M1. But this close to the M3 release, yeah, you should be M2 or just holding out for the M3, if your
Yeah.
budget allows, right? If you have the ability, or if you're that guy that you're gonna walk into the Apple store and just say, "Give me this," and hand them your card, then I would say just wait for the M3.
Here's the 13-inch MacBook Air M1 chip,
hmm
$850. So it's
Right,
$150 cheaper. So there's
right.
that. The M2s are running it because remember they jump price, right? So
Yeah,
they start at 1,099. So you can get an M2 refurb. So I take that back. There are M2 refurbs in here.
yeah.
So the difference is
What are they running?
$70 between the
Yeah,
M1 and the M2. Get the M2.
You gotta go M2. Yeah, you gotta go this close to the a refresh. And we say this close. We don't know if it's going to be, first quarter or third quarter, but
And
we know
they
that they're
have
coming
15-inch refurbs MacBook Airs too already with the M2 chip.
already. What are they
200
running?
bucks. $200 cheaper. 1099.
That's my go-to. The 15-inch Air refurb. Yeah, if you're looking to get a Christmas gift for someone, if this is the class you're going, yeah, jump on that one. That is a good deal. And
Yeah.
and remember, we're talking Apple refurb. We're not talking about some
Correct.
stranger on Amazon. So still qualifies for Apple Care. You still get that 1 year warranty from Apple. So if anything goes wrong, this is as close to buying it new and still getting all those same benefits and perks as you're going to get from
Yeah.
anyone.
Agreed.
Jump on that.